line. We truly, truly do thank
The
you
recording
for
has started.
connecting with this morning and joining us for the Mastermind call with the Dreammakers Network here in this last call for this year. I almost said the new year. We've kind of moved through the 2024 year. It's unbelievable. It seems like we just started, but we're in the month of December, and has brought us to our last call for the 2024 year. And if it's your first time on the Mastermind call, we welcome you. My name is Byron Deese with the Dreammakers Network, and we have hosted this call now over 12 years, pushing 12 and a half years. We've been hosting this call on Saturday mornings with the purpose of connecting with like-minded people who have made goal setting something that is top and premier in their life, to identify where they are and to also connect where they're trying to go in the spirit of purpose, and to do that in a way that is not only just kind of specific to the work that you have and kind of the day-to-day responsibilities of managing your house and raising kids and grandkids and the whole nine, but to take a second and really commit your life to the objective of purpose, what it is that you're here to do. Why did your creator bring you here? What is it about you that is so unique that God said you should be here? It's something that I need you to do that nobody else in this grand cosmic scheme of life can do. And a lot of times we don't recognize that we are a very unique species, a unique person in this life. And there is something specific. There is something that is just for you. And it's hard sometimes to even connect those dots, because when you look around and you're doing maybe your people who you work with, or your family, or folks who you participate time with in the community, and we all could be very well talking about the same things, things that are happening in the community, on the job, the family. And it seems as if we're kind of running the same race, if you will, trying to address economics and social life and spiritual life. But there is something specific that is here for you to do in this life. And I think that the more that we are on message with why we are here, the greater the impact and the value of our time here will be. And so for the past 12 years, we have really tried our best to remind us, if you will, that purpose is a thing, that purpose and your purpose for this life is very important, not only for you, but it is very important for the people who are supposed to be reached by what it is you're here to do in this life. There's so many people who are waiting for somebody to tap them on the shoulder and share an experience, share a word, share just some insight. Somebody who said, you know what, I'd love to connect with you, and let's rap. And you never know what people are going through. You see people every day. You never know what they really could be going through, what their heart and their spirit is really yearning for. And a lot of times we downplay the things that are going on in our lives. We downplay our experiences. We even downplay our goals and objectives. The things that are dancing around, those ideas that are dancing around in your mind and in your spirit. And if you begin the process of creating what we call the mastermind, where you connect with like-minded people on a singular objective and begin that process of letting the universe work, and see what happens when that unique cocktail, if you will, where 2 or 3 people come together in the spirit of harmony and begin to focus on that singular objective. What can be created? What can be created if you are intentional? It's something that you're not doing by happenstance, but you intentionally went through the process of working with like-minded people who invest in you, and you're willing and excited to invest in them, and just allow God to work. That is such an exciting experience, especially when you do it on purpose. It's always cool when it happens just kind of by chance. And he said, "Man, did you have a good time last night?" Did you enjoy that? And you're kind of, everyone's, yeah, I really did. And it kind of just happens that way. But the unique power of being intentional and doing it on purpose, that changes the game. And for the purposes of this call, as we are really focused on building and pursuing our goals, our things that we've identified that we want to accomplish, and we've understood the why, to be able to apply that same strategy and methodology to your goals, it can be life-changing. There's no easy way to say that. It could be very much so life-changing, that you could very well live this life without fear, worry, or doubt. And if you kind of slow down and think about that for a second, that you could live this life without fear, worry, or doubt, if you purposely, pursue the things that you believe that you're here to do, what your quote unquote calling is in this life, and you pursue it with the level of connectivity with other folks who are also excited about what they're working on. And so I just want to say that it's worth a shot. And I'm thankful that this network over the past 12 and a half years have continued to stay consistent in identifying what it is that you're here to do, and identify those goals that are important, but also sharing those experiences, because at the end of the day, we are humans. We have access to the Creator. And so that's the beautiful part, because we do have access to God and doing the things that we were called to do. But we are human beings. And so we go through those lives of worry and doubt and fear, and things like that could slow us down, those road bumps, those barriers, if you will, that can get in the way. But I'm just thankful for all of you, as we continue to try to build and work together and find ways to connect on what you're working on and how we can be supportive. If you create that time and attention to somebody else's thing, just for the purpose of saying, it would be great just to not only hear what they're doing, but if there's a moment or an opportunity for me to share. Sometimes you don't even realize that there's something in you or that is just ready for somebody else. But the question is, did we pick up the phone and call? Did we send a message, say, hey, let's connect? Are we making ourselves available for outreach, to reach people that you know, people that you don't know? What room in there do you have for the purpose of outreach? And so I'm just thankful, as I'm kind of sharing and thinking about this year and the things that have happened. Thankful for this call and this network, and how it has just continued to play a big role in all of the things that we're doing, and not being afraid to pursue goals, to not being afraid to meet new people, and have a certain intentionality about first encounters, and even going deep with our current relationships. I'm thankful for this network and all that you've done to support this group, and to continue to invest in all the things that we're doing. And because of that, it's just, this 2024 year has been a blessing. And so I hope to hear from you guys on this call today and give us an opportunity to share and connect and reflect, to take a step back and look back on what we've done and what's happened this year, as we also really begin to gear ourselves up for what's available and what's ahead of us in this new year. So we thank you so much for being with us on the call today. Well, as I was sharing, I think that this call is definitely ideal for reflection, but I do want to share a bit of um, looking forward, if you will, and even digging deeper. I'm actually this weekend, I'm at a conference at Disney World at the Reunion Resort for it's a real estate vacation rental conference. Some awesome, magnificent brothers from Hampton University who have built this awesome, great private equity business to support real estate efforts throughout the country, and their diverse portfolio. And I'm here doing a bit of work for clients, but at the same time, really digging deep and trying to build relationships, new relationships. It's always cool to walk in a room and not know anybody. You know, some people shy away from that kind of thing. It's like, oh my Lord, I don't know anybody in this room. It's like, what am I going to do? Let me find the nearest closet and get in it, right? But oh my God, I walked in there yesterday and I just saw all these beautiful, black and brown faces in the room, and you could grab the energy. You could cut it with a knife, if you will, of the level of excitement and expectation, and just kind of willingness to take in all the information that was to come. And I'll tell you right now, man, it was, how you go into a place with a certain here's what I expect will happen kind of thing. I'm expecting this will happen. I'm expecting that will happen. And then you kind of have energy for that. You kind of have energy for, let me make sure I take some good notes. Let me make sure I, share and connect with some folks who could be of value to some things that I'm working on. And so, yeah, you go in with a certain level of expectation and energy. And then you get just the biggest, no, I got something for you. And I know you, sir, Mr. Dreammakers, have been dreaming, but I need you to dream bigger. Boom! Just like a double punch in the face. Like what are we experiencing right now? I came here excited. I came here with energy. I came here with expectation. I came here ready to serve as well, right? And I realized within the first hour, there, that I wasn't prepared, that I did not come prepared for the information, the energy, the connections, the relationship, the willingness of the folks in the room, the access to folks who were doing things that, in a normal time, you're like, man, how do I get in contact with this person? How do I, do you know anybody who knows, you're in that space, you know anybody who knows this one, you know anybody who knows that one? And then you're in the room with really about 100 people at maximum who are all the people you want to know, like right there on the spot. And it was just then, and it was just one of those moments where that whatever you're doing the right thing, because God will create those opportunities for you so for people to invest in you, and for you to be overwhelmed with information, with resource access, with the people that you normally would be trying to strategize on, right? And when that becomes the reality, that was the thing. It hit me then. I know you've been dreaming, but you need to dream bigger. I know you've been dreaming, but you need to dream bigger. And when that is kind of the call, you have to go with that. You have to say, well, how do I deepen? How do I make myself more available? You know, Lord, I'm available to you, but how do you make yourself even more available? And that was the moment. That was the time. That was the space. That was the energy. That was how I felt in the first hour and a half yesterday. And the conference went on all day. And I'm gonna have to leave a little early today so I can get back over there and finish up for our second day for the conference. Well, this morning I actually I thought about just kind of setting up and doing it there this morning, getting up early, but it was a long day last night. I said, oh, let me, make sure I don't mess anything up. But so I say to you, as we end this new year or this particular year, as we bring this year to an end, and we begin to kind of look back and reflect on what we've built and our activities, what we did, why did we do it, why did we pursue this goal versus another one, what kind of progress did we make on those things. I say to all of that, do what's necessary to dream bigger, to go deeper, do whatever it takes. Put yourself in a space that is exponential to what you're currently doing. What does that mean? If your goal is to, get 6,000 steps a day, what does it take to get 18 steps a day? 6,000 steps a day. What does it take to get 18,000 steps a day? Whoa. I don't have that kind of time. Why? I had a conversation last night. We were sitting there, this is a classic example, right? Had a conversation with a client last night who had goals in 2024, big goals, accomplished those goals. And then the reality of the goal is here, like how to deal with the reality of this big goal that I set for myself, and that becoming the new worry, right? So you had a big goal, 2024, worked hard, did what I had to do to accomplish that goal. Now, you probably didn't, think about what does it take to manage this new goal that I've had. Now that it's here, it has become the new worry. It's become the new thing that allows the enemy to kind of sneak in and throw doubt and fear and all. And I said, whoa. You need to dream bigger. If your goal was to have this thing and now you got it, you have to become bigger. You have to become more. You have to take who you are. How do you scale you? How do you create, if the objective is, hey, I need another $10,000 a month, is that something that you get fearful of, or something that you say, let's go do it? And then take a step back and figure out, what am I not doing right now that I should be doing? What am I not doing? Not that you have to go off and try to get too busy again and just try to figure out how to go and get it. What are you doing right now that if you took it to the next level, that if you scaled it, if you marketed it, if you went a little bit more, that it would create the extra $10,000 a month that you need? What are you doing right now? Just stand and look at it. All right, here's what I'm doing. When I wake up, I do this and boop, boop, boop. Okay, what time do you wake up? What time you go to bed? Yeah, do you know how many people you got in your phone? Do they know? Everybody who's listed in your phone, do they know that this is a thing, that this is something that you're selling, that this is something that you do? Do they know it? If they don't know it, you're not finished. You have to be in a position to not get too, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And the cloud of fear and doubt just overtakes you completely and you're out of the game. You're even out of that game. Like you've lost the goal that you were pursuing because you allowed it to overtake you. When you have this whole thing in your phone that you play with every day and get on and do stuff, and so, wow, look at all these people on there. And if they're in my phone, these are people who actually know me. Do they know that I have this or that I have that? And if not, why don't they know? And if that shit, I hadn't talked about, just going out and letting the random person know, but we're talking about your own people. And if you really want to own and have these goals, and it's one thing to say, yes, this is what I want. Yes, yes, yes. And then once you get it, you're like, how am I going to maintain this? Oh, Lord, I wasn't prepared. Dream bigger. Dream bigger. Go deeper. Like, that's it. And I think it's just, we need those encounters. We need to do things. Think about this year. What did you do this year that was an investment into you? And what I mean by that, like, if you are currently in if you have a business, or if you're in a ministry, or if you have an organization that you're doing, or you have your job and you kind of lead a certain area, whatever that thing is, have you paid extra money to be in a space where you can create masterminds around that thing? That's an investment into you, into your personal growth in that area. Have you challenged yourself to connect with other people who are doing what you want to do, what you're trying to do? They've done it and they're doing it at scale. Have you made that kind of investment into you? This is what I mean. And the reason why I say that is because when in this whole topic of dreaming bigger, is sometimes we don't know how to go bigger. We've only moved at the capacity that we've moved at forever. Regardless of whatever your age is, that's how you move. You move at that pace. And then you meet somebody. and then you meet somebody who's moving at a different clip. And you can say to yourself, you can see that person moving and watching and listening and the whole nine. And then it makes you feel a certain way. You're either excited and energized by what you see and hear, or your subconscious says you need to stay away from that because I can see you trying to maybe want to do that. And we don't do that. That's not what we do. Yes, they're doing that, and let them do that. That's not what we do. We don't do that. And that subconscious is trying to protect you. But it's important for you to tell your subconscious, we're about to do that, yo. We're in the space of dreaming bigger right now. And I know you're here to protect me. I know you're here to, make sure I don't go crazy. But we are about to go bigger. We're about to dream bigger. We're about to stretch further. We're about to go after it at the next level. Because I see it happening right now with that person who's an unassuming looking person, and they're doing it. So why not me? Why not me? What kind of tricks in my brain is telling me that's for them and not for me? We have to address this, because anytime we find ourselves in a space of worry, doubt, fear, all of those little things that slow you down, make you take a step back, look around, and not put the foot on the gas, especially because we're talking about the things that truly matter to you. I got to be honest with you. The thing that really, what's the word I want to use here? I don't know. It's that somewhere between gets me mad and sad all at the same time. It's when I talk to people who every time we see each other, because we may not see each other all the time, but every time we see each other, they talk about the same goals and the same dreams that they hadn't took one step to pursue. Hadn't taken it's. I mean, the dream, and when they talk about it, it sounds great. It's actually worth, revving up about. But it could be 6 months, it could be 8 months, it could be a year since we've talked about it, and no step in a progressive direction has been made to accomplish that. Why is it? What's the thing that's holding you back? What's the thing? Oh, well, I got my kids, man, and my kids, they got get to school on time, and I got to make sure that they, actually going through a divorce. And so that's taking up a lot of my time and my money. I ain't had the same resources I had before. Oh, I lost my job, and my job was this and that. And so it's just mounting. There's a tall stack of excuses. And say, Dees, that's not nice, man. You shouldn't say that. These are real things people are going through. Yeah, well, we all go through real things. Question is, what are we doing when we go through that? Where is our head? What are we focused on? Are we focused on the goal, the objective, the purpose that you truly believe is why you are here, and all of the activities that come with that? Or we focus on the deficiency, on the fact that you're going through a divorce, on the fact that you don't have access to your kids, on the fact that you don't have the bank account that you want. Like, are we focused on the negative? Or are we focused on the opportunity? You have a brain. Yeah, you can decide what you want to focus on. What's wrong and the deficiency, or the opportunity and the goal? You choose what you put your energy on, where you focus, where you align your thoughts, your time. You choose how you spend your time every day. What things that you're doing that's actually every day giving you, you can see that you made one step in a progressive direction to your goal. Or if you were caught up doing a whole bunch of other things that could be cool and nice stuff, but it has nothing to do with your goal. It may help somebody else's goal, but it's not progressing your goal. And I really wanted to just take this time to talk through what it means to dream bigger. What it means to dream bigger. Why is that even something you should be of concern with? Why dreaming bigger is something you should even attempt to do. Because again, the dream is not for it to just dance around in your mind, and people look at you and you have a smile on your face. Like, what you smiling about? And you're like, oh man, I'm just kind of working on some stuff right now, and so this is kind of where I am. That's cool too, because at least it gives off some positive energy. But the thing of actually attempting, actually with purpose, with an objective of not failing, to pursue the thing that you've been smiling about, that's been dancing around in your brain. Say, watch this. I'm about to do this. Watch this. And dare I say, connect with somebody else who you caught them smiling in their head, smiling about something in their head, and they're not talking and just kind of got the eyebrows up. It's like, what you thinking about, yo? Like, what's going on over there? And if they are willing to share what that thing is, you say, you know what? Check this out. You seem pretty fired up about that. Well, check this out. I'm pretty fired up about this. Let's be accountability partners. Let's do a monthly check-in. Let's do a bi-monthly check-in. Where are you with that? How's it going? What can I do to help you grow that? And I share the same thing with you. This is what I'm doing. This is how many people I talked to about it. Here's what the people who told me, get out of my face. Here are the people who became clients, or here are the amount of money I raised, or whatever the thing is. And get an accountability partner of somebody who is like, again, not just an accountability partner of somebody who ain't doing nothing. It's like, oh yeah, I got that. My mom was my guy. Like, oh, okay, she loved you. You go find somebody who is willing, ready, right now to pursue the thing that's dancing in their brain, and you guys work together on supporting each other in that objective. Accountability partner, somebody who's willing to dream bigger. That's the point. I don't, I know this is a call where we could easily kind of just think about the reflection. Oh, this is what we did, and we should do some of that. But I gotta tell you, I mean, there's nothing like being in a room filled with people who are dreaming bigger and acting on the dream, who are saying, this is what I'm doing. This is what we did. This is what we bought. This is how we're doing it. Hey, you want to help? That's power. And to see it done at scale, at exponential growth, it's beyond exciting. And the beautiful part of it is that we all can do it. That's not just unique to certain people, well, you know why they got that, right? Because their mama was kind of had a little extra money back in the day, or you remember his granddaddy, right? His granddaddy was that dude, so I'm sure they got kind of a leg up on it. No, get all of that out the way. All of that. No time for rationalizing why somebody else is successful and you ain't, right? That day we got to throw that away. People are doing it. They're human beings, just like we are. So let's just be about dreaming bigger. Let's just be about taking what we're doing and our goals and our energies and just going and doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just has to at this point, because the downside is the furthest you get is just that smile in your head. Man, ooh, so people look at you like, oh, what's wrong? You're like, hey, I just working on something. Like, man, it's the same thing you was working on 2 years ago. Like, you was smiling. I was like, yeah, actually, yeah. I was like, okay, all right, go back to it, brother. It's like, hey, good luck with that, man. I'm glad it's making you feel good. I'm glad you're feeling good. I'm glad you got a smile on your face, man. Good, you know what I'm saying? But it's time to put it to work. So let's take a second, open up the call. I'm really, again, I'm kind of still floating. Still floating. And I got to break out of here in about 30 minutes. So let's open up the call, reflect on what's going on. Let's open the call now. Anybody want to share where they are, what we're working on? We'll open up the call now.
Hey, Buddy D's.
My brother, Dwayne. How you feeling, man?
Oh, man, I'm spectacular.
Love it.
Since you got to run, I'll keep mine short and straight to the point. Today celebrates my 1-year anniversary of Soul Fitness with our muscle and joint relief gel and the massage oil.
No.
1 year today, we did our first relaunch, and we did our first power build lifting meet. It's called Winter Board. And ironically, I'm driving. Actually, yesterday I took off my other job, and I was down in Rehoboth Beach in Delaware, and I had my display for the marathon that's going on today. So I bought their running shoes at the Rehoboth Beach Running Company, and then I heard the owners talking about some body aches and pains, and talked to them about salt, and they bought a couple bottles, and they called me up on Tuesday and said, hey, wasn't sure if you still want to be a vendor at our marathon event on Friday, but we have space for you. So I packed my bags, got to Rehoboth Beach, and surprisingly had the most sales of units in one day, outbeating the powerlifting and CrossFit industries. So success there, running industry. Yeah. So the good thing about this whole year is that we realize that we have a great product. It has we have a great solution for the aches and pains. So it's tested, it's verified, it works. I have 4 different verticals now: powerlifting, CrossFit, golfers, and now runners. So in those 4 different verticals, it works. So in 2024, I'm starting tomorrow. I'm working on how to grow and then say, what is it we need to do? But I'm going to grow it and figure out how to take it to the next level where it's in those 4 verticals, but it's being mass produced and mass sold. So that's my next step.
Love it.
Yeah. I spent this whole year, I was a road warrior this whole year, doing all the small meets, small events, and everything else, just getting the brand out there. The brand is now out there from anywhere from Philadelphia to Delaware down to Rehoboth and Maryland, of course, down there in Florida. My buddy, he's a golf pro down in Naples. He runs a couple training camps down there and fitness camps. So he's going to sell it come next February, March. I want to have it displayed at Wild Dunes Resort. Talk to the golf pro there. So basically, the product works. I know it works. Test verified again. Now just taking it to the next level of getting it out to the masses.
I love it. The great part about your business is that it doesn't take long to get a testimonial. Somebody once they use the product, it won't take long to get their impression of one, how did it make them feel physically, how do they like it compared to what they were doing before, and that in and of itself is a classic example of what we're talking about, of just having something in your hands that you can scale. How do you scale it? You show up at events like that, like, what I'm saying, like being a road warrior as you hit. It's a wonderful position to be in, man. And who knows all of the opportunities that are going to come from this conference, So.
Yeah. It's a blessing, and I tell you, with something else that's a blessing. I shared with you guys before. Just making it real fast. If I was getting our dispensary license in Maryland, one in Baltimore City, one in Montgomery County.
Yep.
And then partner Derek Cross, he actually partnered with another company. He's in the process of negotiating to work at a 555 square foot unit in Rise, Maryland. 555 square feet. 555,000 square feet.
Oh, 1,000. Got it.
555 square feet. 555,000.
Got it.
Sorry. So let's say 500,000 square feet. It's a facility that is going to help them grow and do all the processing. So, and his joke is, what? I'm going to be the biggest drug dealer in Maryland. There you go. He's like, Stringer Bell ain't got nothing on me. The Barksdale,
Stringer Bell,
Marlowe, they got nothing on me. Marlowe, they got nothing. That Procto got nothing on me.
Oh, wow. Listen.
Yeah. So that's coming around, but so definitely looking forward to it. I'm gonna put it out there to everyone. Definitely in need of some digital marketing assistance.
Okay.
I got a couple of brothers that I worked out with at the gym, but I need to figure out a way that I can get things on the next level within digital marketing. Because I will always be that road warrior, but also I need to tap into the digital marketing space.
Yeah, and listen, man, this digital marketing piece is important. Anybody who's willing to understand and own that space, that goes back to what we were talking about before. When you get when you embrace this digital marketing, and even now with the advancement of AI, and now in marketing your service, your products, it takes it to the next level. And I want you guys also to actively, look at the fact that with our Dream Makers Network, we're actively building the network through supporting professional services and working with entrepreneurs and their businesses, providing. I mean, we now have the capabilities, and actually, we have current clients to this day where we're running their whole financial operations within the business, from tax, accounting, investment management, investment modeling, to growth strategy. The evolution of what has happened in the past 12 years to where we are right now. And I highlight that because there was a point in time when this was just a dream, that it was just a thought, an idea. And now these are things that are paying the bills. And it's worth us saying, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's connect on things together. Like, what can this one in the network do that could possibly meet a goal that I'm working on? I'm trying to get access to this one and that one. We have the capacity now to pull things off like that. We just have to make sure we're utilizing each other. Everybody's doing really cool things. And this is the time to be intentional. We have to be, whatever we don't have in our businesses, whatever we don't have in our capacity to raise, or whatever the case may be that we're working on, say, hey, Dees, can we get in front of the network and do something like, can you connect me with somebody? Because if I don't know it, we can say, hey, we do know somebody else who may know that information. And so we want to, in many ways, become a network that is kind of that behind the scenes secret sauce to helping you grow and scale and become everything that we're trying to become. And it's worth just putting out the goal as a big, massive goal, but every day doing something to try to make it come to life. So as you're thinking about it, as you're hitting the road, as you're doing trade shows and getting some access and this, and then something happens and you're like, crap, I wish I had this, or I wish I knew. Truth is, you probably got it. It's just, let's make a connection. Let's make a phone call. Let's do it and see if we have somebody in there who could plug a hole for us. So we really, again, I'm saying this because I'm thinking about where we're going with this network, and you guys have been all in and helping to grow and strengthen the capacity. Now where we're trying to go, we're pretty much there, and it's only going to grow from here. So I'm excited to hear when people, Dwayne, and especially in your example, that you're pushing your goals, because the more that you push your goals and making that work, it gives us a reason to become more proficient in areas that we may not have been proficient before. So this is exciting for all of us. So, man, how long you got left on the road?
Let's see. If I got like another hour and 10 minutes.
Okay.
So the very interesting is, came down Thursday, worked my job Thursday. Got up super early, got to the marathon, I think about 10 o'clock. Didn't finish till 9:30 last night. Trying to find something, you couldn't find anything to eat. Once in a while, I got us be up. But I was starving, didn't have anything to eat all day. Went to sleep, woke up at 4:30, got packed up, ate a little bit. Now I'm going to run up and drive. So it's like 7 up, so it's like 6, really. Got packed up in a row till 7, so I got another hour. I'm a little late. I wanted to be there at 8:45. I get there at 9:15, I think. So yeah, and then I'm doing it all over again. So it's like I think it's going from like 10 to 6. And then tomorrow I'm going to go back and count my money, see what I did profit for the weekend.
Yeah.
And then that's right. Airbnb rocking, baby, and sit back and count my money.
Yeah.
So right, pay the soul, baby. And then from there, then I'm going to push on the digital marketing side and what I can do to expand the side of. I'm right now to the point, like you said. I mean, it's instant, and part of my pitches, I tell people, you know what? As soon as you feel, you'll feel the capsaicin hit within probably 15 seconds to a minute. I was like, by the time you walk to the door, you're going to turn around and say, damn, I wish I would have bought that bottle from Dwayne.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time you get to your car and you sit down, you feel it on your lower back, your neck, your knees. And then tomorrow you want to run, you're like, damn it, you know what? I'm buying a bottle. And then you're going to go online and you see my online price of $31.99 plus shipping and taxes. Or you can buy it here today for $25 even. So don't sit back and say, damn, I wish I could have. Just go and do it because I gave you the sample. You felt it within 30 seconds. By the time you get to the door in 2 minutes, your muscles are going to be relaxed and you feel the benefits of our product. Next thing you know, okay, I'll take the roll-on and then I'll take the massage oil. That massage oil, that's coming a big hit.
Yeah, that's my big hit.
That's something really.
And yeah. I'm actually posting right now. So www.sol.md.
Yes, sir.
It's Christmas time, so we all gotta buy gifts. Get it for your mom, dad, aunts, uncles, family, kids who are in sports. This is it, man.
Athletes of all ages, let me tell you, man, athletes of all ages. The funny, not funny, but interesting thing for this marathon, I saw people there in their 60s and 70s taking their packet.
Mm-hmm.
So you got, mature people, extremely more, I like to say well-seasoned athletes out there that are running half marathons and full marathons. In December at the beach, it's 30-some-odd degrees out, and they're already running.
Love it.
My mentality is like, you know what? I can't stop or won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Right? Let's get it in.
Hey, we're going to sign up here also to become an affiliate so we can help get the word out. I see I'm on the website now. Affiliate marketing. I love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know it.
All right, brother. I'm on here now.
One thing I haven't mentioned to anybody because we're on the startup stage. Our ultimate mission for Soul and as a whole is if you buy a soul, we feed a soul. So once our company starts to make profit, each product each item that's sold, that goes to we buy a meal so we can try to help end world hunger. So we have a couple of nonprofits that we want to be working with feeding hungry people in all communities.
Love it.
So my motto is buy souls so we can feed a soul.
Yeah, brother. I'm on here now, man. We're gonna make this work. It's Christmas time. So,
right.
And that's a good point, man. And maybe when you get set up, maybe over the weekend or once you get back, send out the link to the group so everybody can click on and buy some Christmas gifts. Stocking stuffers.
That's right, stocking stuffers. And especially, my girl, she had surgery on her foot not too long ago. So I used a massage on to rub her feet, and lo and behold, knocked her out. She was sleeping like a champion. She felt so much better. I had extra on my hands, and I started rubbing on my hands afterwards. My hands felt so awesome for like the next 2 to 3 days.
Wow.
I was like, start using this on my hands because I'm a lifter. So, my hands feel a little tight. So that day I rub my hands, I'm like, man, it's like butter, baby. It's like butter, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love it. All right, brother. This is good stuff, man. Kicking us off here.
Thank you all. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
Indeed. All right. Anybody else? Let's open up the call. Anybody else? I apologize for having to leave a little early today, but I want to definitely make sure that we make time one, we can reflect on what we're working on and what's been going on and where we are as we're looking at this year. But it's also great to be able to hear those examples of where you said, let me stick my foot in the ground and take it to the next level. And, even if we are just picking that up at the end of this year, it's good to sow that seed. But let's take a second, open up the call now. Anybody else have any questions, comments, or want to share where they are for this 2024 and here in December? So we'll open up the call now. All right. I wanted to share something else with you guys before we finish up today, which was really, I always think about my pastor who passed away this year, Pastor Watson, who said, God, how you going to blow my mind today? And it's always those blow my mind kind of experiences that happen. And we had two yesterday, two blow my mind experiences in one day. And which was like very, very interesting. But I say this to say it's important for us to continue to keep our energies in the right space. And when I say the right space, meaning your energy is lined up with your purpose. Because when we wake up every morning and we're fired up about our purpose and the things that we're here to do, then that means that we are now attracting the things that we need to be successful to accomplish and live out our purpose. And so the things, the people, the access, the resources, all those things that you don't currently have access to, if you stay connected and dive in deep into what you're doing, why you're doing it, and why it's part of your unique purpose for living. I know that sounds very kind of metaphysical and all that, but it is what it is. You focus on an objective for a reason, so you just let that be. And so this conference I'm at this week, and I have several reasons why I'm there and why I made the investment to go and participate and register. I have clients who have goals that I haven't found a resource for, so I'm like, okay, maybe I can get some headway on that. Things within our consulting business with the Dream Makers that looking to expand, and maybe we can get some new opportunities there. Expanding our financial service business. So just a host of reasons, right, of why it made sense to do this. And then yesterday we had a surprise guest, and actually, let me take a step back. Even before the surprise guest came, and I don't know, there's only so much I can even really say, but there was an opportunity in the middle of me, learning more and meeting people and all this. Then there was this hope saying, all right, we have this new presentation, and a presentation about a big investment we're making. And I'm like, okay, all right, let me get my pen and pad ready for this. Like, what's this all about? And then it just, lo and behold, this big, theme at the top, our $1 billion Tuskegee investment. I'm like, what are we talking about right now? And this whole grand scheme, I'm like, I'm here, not even thinking that we're even talking anything about, my alma mater today, right? I'm here to identify other things. And it was unbelievable to see the commitments and the land ownership and the development progress and the government contracts and the people who were in the room just for that reason, all of that. It became like that at that moment. And that was in the first, the first hour there, what I come there for, it had completely clipped all of that, my capacity to take in. And I was literally I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where, you feel like you've reached you're at the top of your of your capacity and it's about to overflow. And I was in the middle of the presentation saying to God, give me more room. Expand my territory. Give me more to receive. Let me not be at my capacity right now. allow me to be of and available for more. And it's interesting because I don't know if you've ever been in that situation where you feel like you're at the top, so your brain capacity just kind of shuts off, right? And I went into that prayer, and what was interesting, how my cup opened up, is as somebody asked a question about, wow, this is so big and this is great, woo, woo, woo. Why? What are the things? What are your barriers? What are the challenges that you have right now? And as they started talking about the challenges that they had, everything in my brain was like, oh, you got to do this. And oh, you need to talk to him. Oh, you need to connect on that. Oh, and then the capacity to give and share and invest became, and so then my capacity opened up. And I was like, wow. And as soon as that session was over, I beelined it to the owner of the company and say, we need to talk. We need to talk, because what you are starting down, this road you're going down, we can help. And it wasn't fluff, right? And it's one thing when you know you have the resources that somebody else is looking for, and the thing that they're working on is massive. And I say all that to say, if we aren't focused on purpose and we can second guess, I had a conversation last week with someone who literally asked me, he's like, do you really believe there's a God? He's like, man, do you really believe that? And my answer was, I said, let me just say it this way without offending anybody. It's like, if you only believe that this life is about your capacity to think and logic, if you will, if you think that this life is only about what I can do based on my brain power, then you're truly missing the blessing of this life. That this life is not just about our thoughts and what we can create from our thoughts, but this massive spiritual capacity that we have direct access to our Creator, and we can fully utilize every universal law that God has given us to do it in this life. And to fully understand and employ faith in our life, and understanding what that is, and not allowing yourself to be confused by things you may not have understood as a child in church or wherever you've learned, religion or whatever the case may be. Because a lot of times that's the issue. Folks get confused by what they saw as a kid, and now it's stuck in their brain as like, that ain't real, whatever. Like, don't go through this life like that, because there's so much that's available to us that if we only believe in what we know and what we see, we can end up going this whole life, I mean, with the fraction of what this life is all about. And I want to make sure that we have that type of conversation, that we are making real investments in our spiritual life, in our spiritual capacity, and what that means, and how to access, the God in us, because our goals are worth it. Our purpose is worth it. And we can't do this on logic alone. Your smarts and ingenuity and all that stuff is cool and it's helpful. But the power that you have access to is pure abundance. And I want to say that it's important for us to be intentional how we are in flowing relationship with God in our goals, in our purpose. So our purpose can really benefit from all that's available to us that our mind can't create. And I shouldn't use the word can't, but has not created up to this point. There's more available to us. And so that conversation that I had with her, I said, listen, man, there's more that you can do in this life. If you throw all that stuff that you've learned before, the things that got you thrown off about your spiritual life, and that there's no such thing, if you have, and the easiest way to start that conversation is, do you have to see it to believe it? Or can you believe it before you see it? And we can break this down even from the framework of goals. If you have a goal right now, for it to become real in your life, because right now it's just an idea. It's just a thing dancing around in your brain. And that's why I say it's important for us to dream bigger. Because if you dream surface, if you dream small, then logically, yeah, you can go do that. Like you can, you can do that, right? Like small goals, yes, you can go knock that out real quick. And if you commit your life to a bunch of small goals, then hey, you can say, yeah, man, look what happened, So, and there's God in that too, right? So let's be clear. But who's willing to dream real big? Who's willing to go beyond your logic? Who's willing to dream about something that your brain can't even come up with? And how do you do that? How do you get past your own capacity? You surround yourself with people who are doing it, who are doing it. You find a way to get in their space because they have tapped into what God makes available to all of us. That's my point. Logic is great and it's a blessing. Education, trial and error, experience, our background, things that are part of our conscious mind. That stuff is important and very helpful. But what I'm here to say, and I can feel confident to say this on this call, I probably, will feel, a certain way if I'm saying this to other people. But for the purpose of this call, I can say this to you guys, that there is more available to us if we are willing to begin a deeper, more expansive relationship with God. To just say, God, what am I here to do and why? And let me see my purpose clear. So if I can see my purpose clearly, then it'll increase my boldness to pursue it. But if I can't fully see it, then maybe I need to take a step back and not be as, ambitious, or not be as, and be a bit more timid, if you will, and so I want us really to get to a space where we know we're not at this goal chase by ourselves. But especially if your goals are lined up with what it is you're here to do. That's why the prayer of give me clarity of purpose, to be able to see it clear. And this was the point. So yesterday, surprise guest came in, Fawn Weaver, CEO of Uncle Nearest. And she was telling her story, and her story is so powerful, and it's so how all of this came about, and the relationship between Nearest Green and Jack Daniels, and the whole teaching him whiskey and all these things. I mean, it was just a great story. And I was actually listening to the book on the way to the conference yesterday, not knowing that she was going to be there. I knew the company had made an investment into the business, so I wanted to kind of get myself involved. I figured we would have a conversation on that investment, but not knowing she was going to show up. But where the power came in was when people started asking her questions. and they were throwing all kind of questions at her. Well, I'll tell you one thing that was really cool. Right when people started asking questions, she said, "Well, so anybody who in this room is an investor in Uncle Nearest, meaning they've owned some shares in the company." Half the room stood up, more than half stood up and raised their hand. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, that was that in of itself, and the whole room was black, right? So that's the whole objective. It was just like, so for me, so many dots and checks were really connecting there. But then they started asking her questions. And, how do you feel about this? She's like, I'm on a purpose-driven mission. God showed me my purpose clear. I see it and I wake up and I go do it. That is what this is all about. And they were asking her questions about, well, why are you not in this? Or why are you not in that? Because God didn't say I should do that. Or why did you go more in that investment? That's what God told me to do. And all of these other major conglomerates, all the big spirits corporations who have multi-line products, they were throwing all kind of money in marketing to discredit her because they didn't want her to be at the table. It's like you're breaking into something that you shouldn't be here. It was a nice story that you had, like you're doing a good job. People know your name. Okay, stop there. And she highlighted the fact that, when you grow to a certain capacity, then you have to also literally beef up your marketing budget just to dispel the attacks on you, your character, and your business, and the whole nine. And it was interesting, and we had some side conversations about this as well, as you're growing and putting yourself in a position to take what you're doing to the next level, but preparing yourself for all the haters. There's some people just in their own unique makeup just cannot comfortably feel okay with your progress. And what it had, and it's all self, it's their problem, if you will. You say, you know what? I just don't like that you're doing it. What you're doing is great. That's cool. I just don't like the fact that you are doing it. It should be somebody else. Something about you means that it shouldn't be you. So because of that, we're going to do what we got to do to tear you down. Know that is a thing. That happens. And at the end of the day, what you say to that, that's their business. They got they got to go to Jesus about that. That is not, and I've heard some people say, and that's the reason why I don't try to do nothing like that, man, because people try to tear you down and whoop. I'm like, listen, that's them. Okay? That ain't got nothing to do with, listen, somebody constantly, purposely making strong, active attempts to tear you down, that's something they got to go to God about. That is their thing. And they can, what you got to say about that? I got to say, God has me doing what I'm here to do. And as long as I'm breathing, that's what I'm here to do. That's why people hate Deion Sanders. He professes love for Jesus Christ, and God told me to do this, and my purpose is that. Whoa. Why you stay at Jackson State? Because God told me to go. Oh, God told you to go. So you have to get to a point that who cares if they believe your story or not? What if you are in right relationship, willing to have a flowing, open, unapologetic relationship with your creator, and on purpose about understanding why you are here in this life, and that your time, your thoughts, your energies, your activities are all in concert with accomplishing the goals that are lined up with your purpose, that's all that matters. That's the objective. That is, so no hating, none of that stuff. Let people do what they feel like they got to do. But it should not become a deterrent or, to what you're here to accomplish. It definitely should not make you stop the process of living out your life's work. Now, if it's not your life's work, then yeah, you may be like, you know what, man, maybe I'm back off. Maybe I shouldn't be involved because I don't want to smoke. And I've been in situations like that, you know, with supporting other stuff and things were cool. And then it got hot. And I'm like, yeah, this ain't my thing anyway. I want to see you do well, you know, but, you know, I want to see you do well, but this is not worth my, you know, it's not worth what I'm trying to do. Right. And sometimes we have that, and we have to ask ourselves, is this part of my purpose or not? If it's part of your purpose, put the foot on the gas. If it's not part of your purpose, you know, I hope and pray somebody else was benefited by the time that you spent on it, and you keep moving. But we have to, the more the story to this is that the purpose objective is it's more important now than ever before. We're literally walking into a period of time of change that it's going to require purpose-driven people. You know, and we all know surface level folks. We all know people who, you know, they just here by day and night, and that's God bless them. But what I'm saying to you and anybody who's here and connected and listening and who will hear this later, we need purpose-driven people right now. We need them. We need people who are willing to pursue that understanding, what that unique calling is for you, and to see you active in it. Because the reason why we need it is because when people like you are moving on purpose, in purpose, others will begin to see it, participate in it, and begin to understand why they are here. And just imagine if you looked around and everybody you saw, everybody who was in your space, everybody who you could reach and touch was living a life of purpose. That is, for me, that's kind of like that, how I just kind of envision what heaven even looks like. Just that, wow, like you're seeing it, like everybody's moving at a maximum capacity of why they exist. Like it's kind of, that is the dream, if you will. And for us to get to that point and to inspire other people, we have to be doing it ourselves. You know, and so with that, let's open up the call. Anybody have any questions, comments about today's topic and what you've been working on and reflective before we end up the call today? We'll open up the call now.
Hey, sorry, real fast, but Byron D's for office. That's all I'm going to say. Yep. Because you just said something, and I'm going to call you out on this.
I already know you're going.
You know exactly. Who cares what they say, right? You know what? Let them break you down, right? Yep, I got you, brother. And you know what? I got it on tape. You recorded it. You recorded this call, right? And I got it. And I got the text message from it. Yeah, I got you, brother. Yep. Byron D's for office. It's gonna be the Deep Mitchell ticket. Watch out, fellas.
The Deep Mitchell ticket, but that's trouble, yo. They definitely gonna send us to prison. They gonna send us to prison fast. Like
no, sir. I don't want to hear it. And listen, all jokes aside, it's needed in our community big time. And the reason I say this because my eyes were open. I've been living in Philadelphia almost a decade.
Yeah.
And do I live in a good part of Philadelphia? No. I mean, do I live in a great? No. Do I live in a bad? No. But I'm right on that line. Like I am legit right across railroad tracks. So you step across the railroad tracks, which is like 100 yards from where I live, and then less than a quarter of a mile, Strawberry Mansion. That high school is right there. They said that's one of the worst high schools in the whole country.
Strawberry Mansion. Oh, yeah, brother.
It's right. 1 out of 10 kids is in a physical violent altercation per week, once a week.
Oh,
one
yeah.
out of 10.
I believe it.
One out of 10. And you know what? And I'm just tired. And these, you know what? I hate to go there in this one. So pull me back to say, hey, we see for another call. But I'm tired of the political theater on both sides using the black, brown community, all our community. I don't care who you are, where you are, what side you're on. I'm tired of political theater. Using say you put me in, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do this. Hey, vote this way, and we will stop this. Let me tell you, I've seen it come through Philadelphia. I've seen it in the streets. I saw the streets locked down. I saw the marches. I saw BLM marches. I saw the LGBT. I've seen it all. And what has the end result? What is the end result? Nothing. Nothing has been solved. Nothing has been done. It's been the same thing since the day when I stepped in. It's been that with back out there. So I see with my own eyes in Philadelphia that no, I don't care what side of the fence are. The political satire, the political theater, and that's what it is. Because nothing has changed.
Yeah.
And I know this firsthand because Rusty, I caught someone who tried to steal my catalytic converter off my 95 Mustang called red-handed. I had to go to court 6 different times just to get my restitution. 6 different times. And all the times I went there, I've seen criminals coming in for having automatic guns, right? Automatic and serial numbers shaved off, right? And these criminals have been caught red-handed. And guess what? They walked out of the court. Walked out of the court. Did not go to jail, not do anything. So people say, oh, you know what, we need to get the guns off the street. No. You know what? Police are capturing these guys, catching them red-handed, and the court says they isn't doing anything. And granted, on the other side, that we do have an issue with bad cops. We do have an issue with, people being wrongfully accused. I get that. But I'm seeing it personally where, guess what? These people are getting caught red-handed, and they're still walking the streets. And I've seen it personally where we got seniors are being beaten up by little kids. I remember, I don't know if you guys, I don't know if it made national news or not, probably not, but an elder in Northeast Philadelphia, an older gentleman, was actually killed because 4 kids beat him with one of those orange cones. You see it in construction, pushing him to the ground, beat him over his head with orange cones. He wound up dying 3 days later. What happened to those kids? Nothing, because they were 13, 14, 15 years old. Nothing happened to those kids.
Larry Krasner. I say Larry Krasner. I mean, that's the state's attorney there, and the district attorney there, Larry Krasner. I mean, Well, let me say this to you, and this is my. And I'm with you 1,000%. Listen, I'll tell you right now, and I'll say that I'm on the record right now. If I thought running for office, regardless of what the office is, was a direct way to address particularly the plight of Black people, especially Black folks who grew up in struggling communities and forgotten communities, the low income, poverty stricken communities. If I thought politics was the way to do it, I would be asking all of y'all to support my campaign right now. I love politics, if you will. I was a poli-sci minor in school, the whole 9. But I think that what we're talking about today, of everybody moving in their purpose, will give each of us an opportunity to address maybe not all the issues, but it will address one. And I'll tell you one in particular for me. This year, one area that I've started to just dive into is this youth leadership focus, and working at my daughter's school, and PTA president, and all of that, and working with these kids and investing in them where they are. It's a lot of times when you see the parents, I don't want to say it's too late, what I'm saying, for the parents, Sometimes it is. Sometimes they just life has just dealt them a blow, and they're not about to hear what you got to say. Now, some people may have that extra energy for that, and that may be part of their purpose. But I would say that if there's a special, unique thing in you, in any of us, that says, maybe I can catch these kids before it's too late. Maybe I can catch them in elementary school. Maybe I can catch them in middle school. Maybe I can catch them in high school, and find your unique way to get them active, to get them engaged, to get them exposed to more than what they see on a day-to-day basis. That I'm all in for, bro. I'm all in for 1,005%. And to be approachable.
Don't forget, we had that going. Remember, I went to my old alma mater, my middle school.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I was going there the week.
Yeah.
We had it going. I had it going in Baltimore County, out in Brownstown. I had it going. But of course, I had to move up here to Philly. But you're right. We need to get them. I tell you what we need for us old folks. We need Joe Clark back. We need Batman back. That's what we need. We need Joe Clark, Batman.
They used to call me Crazy Joe. Now they call me Batman.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That is what needs in every single school. And the parents need to be held accountable. Again, I'm sick and tired of, and Philadelphia is just wild. But the amazing thing about all the wildness in Philadelphia, I sent you guys some clips of, the car meetups and all that. Excuse me. It's not the kids from the inner city that's doing the cases that you guys see in Philadelphia. It's these, kids that live in New Jersey or outside of Philly that come into the city, that come into these places because they have the means to get these, to get the Scat Cat or whatever the car is, buy Dodge, and you just all the cars. Because I'm riding through the hood. No one has these cars that they're wild out and taking over the streets. No one has those cars. And they're coming from New Jersey. They're coming across the bridge. They're coming from out, Bucks County. Coming into Philadelphia, thinking that they're hard. And quick side note, like I said, I was down in Rehoboth Beach, right? And I went to Lowe's, and 3 white kids, they were going crazy, whatever. And Lowe's, I looked at them, and I almost became Batman. So close, but I did because you know what? I would want to go to jail, not them.
Yeah, that's right.
I talked to one of the right? But I talked to one of the workers there. I'm like, look at all these little kids here. They think that they're the top. They're like, no. The school is called CAPE, one of the whitest schools in America. The new thing for all these kids to do is pretend that they're living the thug life.
Yeah.
They're pretending to live the thug life, and that's the thing that's going around the high school. Thugging it out. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So, right, these kids that have, mom and dad, living in like $1.2, $1.5 million houses, run up down the boardwalk, and they're little 13, 14-year-old kids. But this is like 9, 10 o'clock at night, running through Lowe's. But the thing is, we're thugs. We're living that thug life. They're pretending to live that thug life.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well,
wow.
Again, though, I think this goes back to, if we can identify that demographic before it's too late, like I say, elementary, middle, that where the real changes happen. I mean, that was me, man. I mean, when I was in middle school, that was that line of demarcation for me. It was either I'm going to end up going this way or I'm going to go that way. My parents had just divorced. All that I kind of understood and knew about, growing up in the church and what happens things just got really confusing to me around that time. And it was that year. And then you're growing, you got all types of stuff, influences. And before you knew it, I was kicked out of school and forced to have to go to another school. You're getting in big fights and brawls and all that kind of stuff. And it was at the height of the drug epidemic. So every other dude I knew was selling dope and all that kind of stuff, making money, got wads of money in their pocket. Like, it was those influences. Then these kids have very similar experiences and influences now. And there's something about, and I'm just speaking on a more personal level right now, but for me, there's something about that early teen years, so those middle school years, because I remember what was going on with me during that time. And I could look into a young 12, 13, 14-year-old kid's eyes and see me and see exactly what's going, the confusion. I think back to, I said, man, it was on the back end of my high school years that I started to really get it and started to really understand some of those God-given abilities that I wasn't using in the right way when I was in middle school. And I think about now, like when I see kids in middle school who are really maxing out their potential at this stage of their life, and I think about, wow, like if they stay on this pace, it's going to be, these kids are truly going to be a blessing to their families, their community, America. I think about it like that. And that's the case for every kid across the country, particularly in that age group where things are happening. There's so much change. You went from adolescence to your voice change. And now you have breasts, and now you got a shape, and you're only 11 or 12. All these things are happening. Question is, who are the influences when change like that is happening? And we didn't have social media at our age when we were that age, and the internet and all that stuff. They have so many, they're being attacked in so many ways. So I go back to this conversation on purpose. We have to identify what it is that we uniquely are here to do and who benefits from that. Who benefits from us living a life of purpose? Is it just us? Or are there people who you uniquely care about without having to be pushed to care about it? You have your own unique, innate, strong desire to fix a certain situation. When we're living on purpose, we will be a part of the solution. And that's the part that it gets me excited about, seeing people living on purpose, because I know they're affecting change in somebody's life, and not just their own, not just them and their family. Somebody else, some random person is benefiting from your purpose-driven living. That part, that's the exciting part. So again, political office is a way. And I do strongly believe in civic engagement. And I think, though, a big part of civic engagement is finding out the areas that truly matter to you in the community and just make that your thing. Other people may have other things that they care about and they're working on it and they're all in. But we should know what's your thing. And I had, one of my good buddies was here with me recently. And he was kind of on the same tip you were just saying, Dwayne. He's like, man, you should be doing this, that, and the other. And I said, well, let me show you what I've been spending my time on. And we got to kind of breaking down some of the day. Like, here's my schedule for this week. 2 hours at the school doing, meeting with the student council. Then another hour working in the business, but helping the business prepare to sell. Then another, and just kind of showing, like, the reason why my calendar looks like this is because God told me this is what my calendar should look like. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you right now, I much rather that calendar than finding myself knee deep doing something that I know. Now, and then a lot of other people may say, man, I'm glad you're doing that. but when I go to bed every night and I pray to God, and God is like, what are you doing? So this thing about purpose-driven living is real, and I'm going to preach it as hard and as strong as I can into my last day, because I truly believe that the real solution isn't politics. The real solution is each of us, under the sound of my voice, if we make a dedication to living this life on purpose and fulfilling your own unique calling, that the issues that we care about, somebody will be addressing a piece of that. And we all will take our own piece. And before you know it, we'll see real change happen. That's my piece. I'm sticking to it.
I love it, Byron. I love it. And I think you're absolutely right. You think about young people. I was just sharing with Dwayne. Struggling hasn't been terrible. And when I think about like what with these school districts, and I've been a career educator, it hurts my heart to me to be like, nah, I'm cool. I can't be bothered because y'all don't want to do the work. People are caught up on needing their positions and needing the solutions to come from the people they've hired, not from people who actually want to do the work that actually matters.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're closest to the problem, we're closest to the solution. And if we know the things that we know and we're actually able to work on them and do them, we have to figure out ways to make that happen. And so doing that and making the thing that matters to you most, the thing that shows up in every space that you're working in. People get confused about the work that I do. Like everything I do, it might if you pull it back, it's going to have something to do with inclusion of people with disabilities and accessibility.
Mm-hmm.
Accessibility for leadership, young people. It's going to be about getting people who need the information so they can move and to be optimistic. The level of optimum independence is a term that I've been playing with this week. Everyone has a different level of independence, and everyone gets to choose what that looks like. And our physical surroundings should not be the determinant of what we have access to. And that is the thing that is like really driving me. And I know it's project for me. There's going to be a zillion projects. I love projects because projects have a begin date and end date.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've been learning to do is one, make sure that everything is around those two items. Be it yoga, be it the foster care work that I'm doing, be it work that I'm doing with community artists or, the Black artists in the community. All of the stuff still comes down to inclusion and access.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to make it and then making sure that the event spaces that we have events are in. I talk about, okay, we can't have it over here because it's not accessible to people with disabilities. Do we have a sign language interpreter? Do we have things to make this accessible to the whole community? And so that's how I'm addressing what I do and what I know, which is the disability world, to everybody else. I move myself out of a bureaucratic space of education, and now I'm going around schools and government. But I know what my thing is, and I know what makes sense to me, and I've just been learning how to navigate this new system, but being really clear about what I will deal with. No, I don't have hours to 60 hours a week for nobody else no more. Them days are dead.
Mm-hmm.
So I get paid really well for my little 20 hours, and everything else I do is building my own dream and getting me to where I really want to be. And so knowing that it's clear for me, it don't have to be clear for nobody else. I'm too damn old to care about if it's clear for somebody else. It's clear for me.
Yeah.
And I'm the only one who needs to keep out for my decisions at this point. And that's where I am. And so I know that I'm in a very special space, and I want to make sure I'm taking advantage of that. Yeah. But that living on purpose is huge. It may not make sense to other people. It don't have to.
Yeah.
God ain't make this a conference call. He made a call just to you about what you are supposed to do.
That's right.
And we can remember that. It's not a conference call situation. It's a personal call situation. We have to be in line for receiving our orders. And for me, he know I'm slow. So he'll give me obvious, yes, boo, this is it. Yes, Titana, see? He'll show me, because I be slow on stuff. I'm fast on a whole lot of stuff, but some stuff I be real slow about. So he puts light up signs in the midst of my pathway to remind me that I'm on the right path, doing what he said to do, not what other people have wanted me to do. And it feels right, and I want to keep doing it. So
that's right.
Just remember, it's not a conference call.
I'm still in that. I was almost, when you said that, I was like, I'm like, this is not, God did not call a conference call. He called you to this work. And that's the thing. And that's my whole point. Because, society tells us that this is how it's supposed to work. And then then you have to remember that you're living in a godless society. I'm like, listen, I see conventionalism. I see what people are doing and how they're doing it and all that kind of stuff. But I had to tell the person I was talking about the other day, I had to tell him, I said, listen, God is bigger than your religion. The way you learn how to go to church and everything that you learned in your church, God's bigger than that. It's bigger. God is bigger than your bishop. And I'll tell you one thing in particular, and this was the thing. And I want to say this because, and I'm already late, so let me just say this and let me get out of here. I've seen too many people who, their parents either, as parents, we try to raise our kids right and give them exposure to the right things and this, that, and the other. But when we get into a place where we understand our religion more than we understand God, that's a problem. And we have to be in a position for us to understand our purpose. We have to understand. And when I use the word understand, you're never going to know the ways and all the ways of God, but you can pursue that relationship to help you understand what your clarity of purpose is in this life. And if I want on my tombstone to say, this brother pursued a clarity of purpose for his life. Full stop. Period. That is it for me. To every day say, God, you created me for a reason. Give me clarity of purpose. Because if I have clarity of purpose, I'm not swayed by society, not swayed by politics. I'm not swayed by religion. I'm not swayed by nothing other than what God showed me I'm here to do. That's it. And again, my dream of all dreams is to just look around and see people just fired up about the purpose that they're here to do. And I just join in with them. That. You ever want to know my ultimate, what is this all about, Deese? Why you do this call? Why are you doing this? Why? It's all an effort to get one step closer to living a life on purpose and then making that contagious. And so, Deese, why are you doing that, man? What for? What do did you make? Is it a lot of money at the end of this or what? It's like, it's a lot of purpose at the end of this. And if money comes with it, then great. But I don't want to be a man with a whole lot of money and no purpose. Because if that's the case, then what do you do with it? What do you do with all the money if you don't have purpose? Well, you spend it, man. You go live your best life. Whoop, whoop. I'm like, okay. And what's that? What's living my best life if I don't have purpose? I don't know what my best life is if I don't know what my purpose is. This life is about fulfilling the purpose of your life. And I add in, do it in a way that is attractive, where other people want to do it too. It's not just singular, but you're doing it and people are like, thanks, Deese. Put me in the game, man. Put me in the game. I had a conversation with one of my classmates who I hadn't seen since we were at Tuskegee. And she reached out to me just on the complete random. And it's like, you know what? I'm working on this thing, and the only person I could think about to talk to about this was you. And actually, Dwayne, she's in Philly. And was like, and this is what I'm trying to do, and this, that, and whoop, whoop, whoop. And I was listening. And as I'm listening, I'm also praying, listening and saying how to share. And then help me ask the right questions. Help me to unpack what her true purpose is. And as we got to talking, it was coming out. I could hear it. It was opening up. The flower, it was becoming much more of a real thing. It was connecting back to her issues and challenges growing up. And a lot of times this stuff has to do with, a lot of times our purpose, and it's interesting, right? At least in my experience, when we start going down this road about purpose, and I would say, at least in my experience, a lot of times it has some connection to do with the first 20 years of your life, which is what I call like those foundation years. There's something in that early period. Maybe something went right or something went wrong, or maybe a combination of the two. When you start going down that road of purpose, you start thinking about the you at that time of your life, or the people you had access to who were the game changer for you, or the people who you had access to who were the detriment in your life. And you don't want anybody else to go through that, or you want more people to go through that. Like, it's something in that realm that has a very unique, powerful energy spot in your life, and you want to see more of that happen, or you want to make sure nobody else goes through that. It's so either people get fired up about the things they love and fired up about the things they hate, and either of the two you have energy for, and you can make a difference in that. And so we could talk about this purpose game all day, right? And I was supposed to leave 20 minutes ago. So, but with that said, anybody else have any questions or comments before we finish up for the day? My brother.
All right. It's a good call. So y'all got me all over the all over the place. Two things. One is, which is the most important thing, you own one today, sir. And I see why Dwayne was like, you had to do something deep. You run for something. Like, because I'm telling you, because wherever you were, and you were in the zone, I got a lot of jokes and a lot of stuff to think about, right? I almost laughed out loud when you said that you were at the CEO of Uncle Nearest was there. And I know the story, and I know it's important.
Yeah.
But I was like, this brother he's in his zone right now, meaning that, what I'm saying, the spirit, the love, but it's also Uncle Nearest and the black. I was like, oh my goodness. So I'm so excited on you connecting that, and I can hear that in the conversation, and that's what you put out. And so you own one. And it's an amazing call. One of the best ones that you've delivered in a while, because it's right in your streamline with the purpose and all that. So it was a great call. And obviously my other network people, drop jewels as usual.
Mm-hmm.
I put my order in as I was laying there listening. My elbow, my back, the brain. I texted my guy, just send me the code, man. But he sent me the code. That's good. And the conference call thing, which I saying is like if she doesn't make a shirt out of it,
I know
she's gonna see me with the shirt. It's a wrap. She has. Ain't no conference call. Shut up. Between me and him. Mind your business.
That's right. So right. Gee.
So crazy. I had a lot of stuff, but I just want to give all props and credit to y'all. It was good, man. It was good. Before you roll out, the 90, we did the 90% if we on
not the training balance scale, but the other ones where, you drop 90% motivation, but before you go, just give a quick 10%. And this is the person I want you to talk to. Talk to the person who is in mediocrity or is not dreaming big enough. And hit them with a couple of little steps to kind of open up that to go in that direction. So, you're dreaming a little bit, and you talk about a little bit, but get specific on, look, you're only dreaming at 30%.
Yeah.
This is what you should do to at least get that dream to 100 or bigger, that expansion. Going places, whatever it is. Just talk to that people. Give them that practical 10% real quick on the way out. Just to, what I'm saying? So they leave with, oh man, what am I supposed to do? A lot of people are swimming right now because the vibration was thick. So give me that, and then what I'm saying.
So give me that real quick. What percentage of this, Nick?
Give me that.
Give me that real quick.
So we can get on. We can go back to war. We can go back to the battle. Yeah. That's all I got. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna try to say this quick because I gotta scram. But I gotta. I'm gonna make it very personal. Here's a classic example, is that when I was sitting in that room yesterday, well, actually, let me say this. Boy, I know I'm gonna be late, but let me just say this. When I walked in yesterday, and if most of you guys know me, whenever I wear a blazer, I wear a Tuskegee lapel pin. It's right over my heart, right? So I walked in. I see all these black folks. They look like money. I'm like, all right, that's what I'm talking about. And they weren't. And when I say they look like money, it didn't have on suits and all that. These were just in their eyes, like, yeah, it was that kind of thing. A certain, comfortable confidence, if you will. And I sat down, and his brother asked me. He's like, "Are you a part of the Tuskegee investment?" And I'm like, what a Tuskegee investment. I'm like, what are we talking about? That was the first thing his brother said to me. I was like, what? I was like, well, I'm a graduate at Tuskegee. He's like, oh, okay. You're not part of the investment? I'm like, no, but I need to know. And I didn't have a clue. And when we got, maybe an hour into the presentation later, and they had the big signs of the $1 billion Tuskegee investment, I realized at that moment that I had dreams, big goals. And I think about, for those of us who are, worked in Tuskegee or Tuskegee students or whatever the case, we all have had these conversations about, man, what's possible in Tuskegee. And boy, we should, Tuskegee don't have any hotels, so we need to get up Airbnbs and just all these things that just kind of to be a part of a solution, but not going big enough. Like I've done things actually where I've brought people with me to Tuskegee who I knew understood, commercial development and community development, and rode them around and look at this and look at that. And that, for me, that was like my big effort to say, okay, all right, work your magic on it. You know what I'm saying? And that was kind of it. But then when I sat there and watched like all of I'm looking at places that I know, like city blocks that I know, and there's hotels and there's grocery stores and there's, all this commerce happening. And I'm just like, boom, boom, boom. And so I say all that to say, we have dreams. We have ideas that we really want to see happen. But have you ever really went audacious with your thoughts and your dreams on that to the place where it's way bigger than what you were dreaming about? I'm going to throw this last thing at you, which is why I got to go. They were like, hey, man, make sure y'all here tomorrow. And we spent time looking at real estate and all these different things, beautiful real estate. So make sure you're here tomorrow because we're going to do a tour of our properties One of the properties is a 30-bedroom property, and the other one's 25-bedroom next door to each other. I was like, and my brain said, I've never been in a 30-bedroom house. Like, what are we talking about? Like, in my mind, I was trying to like, what? 30 bedrooms? What am I getting ready to see? And again, that's just it now is past your normal thought capacity. I think about a big house. Oh, got 12. That house got 12 rooms in it. Like, wow, like, whoa, I've never been in a 30-bedroom house. I just want to be there to see it, to now allow my capacity to expand. That's the point. So, and the thing about this is that's why I say it's important to make an investment in yourself, to be around people when this is their norm, that thinking at a beyond things that are blow your mind, but that's their normal thinking. That's their normal conversation. Make an investment into yourself to do that, just so you can expand what's possible for you and be in a space, because we can easily get into a normalcy of thought because everybody else around you, if you're the biggest thinker in your network, that's the problem. If you are the biggest thinker in your network, you think bigger than everybody else. You're always trying to get people up to your level. That you got to invest in you to make sure you're around some big, 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 big dreamers, big, big thinkers, people where you can gain, where you feel minuscule because of where they are. And then ask yourself, how does that make you feel? Does that make you feel like I can go and do this? Or does that make you want to hurry up and get out of there because you feel like you're not worthy? You have to assess who you are when you get in that space. Or do you believe that you're supposed to be here? There's a natural part of this. What can you lend to this group? Is there something you can say that they would say, you know what I'm saying? And I'm confident that there is, no matter what room you're in, when you open your mouth, they're going to say, wow, who is that? So I'm going to leave it there, brother. I'm going to leave it on that.
Well said.
Leave it on that.
Well said. Yes, sir.
Happy holidays, folks. Happy holidays. Enjoy this time. I'm going to be reaching out to you guys because I'm trying to put together something for Rhea. You know what? I should say this. This is actually an exciting piece. We're definitely trying to put something together for my wife because we are retiring her from corporate America in about 10 days, 13 days. And we're going to do a big event, something, not big, but just something together with friends and family in Baltimore during the holidays. And she's coming knee deep with me in this consulting business. And so we can think big and go big and just do all the things that God has outlined and planned for us to do to make the greatest impact that we can make. And just literally, like, listen, I'm telling you, you catch me 3 years from now, somebody throw a rock and hit me in the head and I'm out. There's nobody in that room should be like, that dude, yeah. It's so sad because he wasn't really doing much.
Wait, please, hold on. My cousin's doing what in 10 days?
She is retiring from Verizon.
What? Yo, I love it.
And she is coming into the Dream Makers consulting business. And you got to see why. Now you see why I'm excited. Like my eyes and energy is just like I've been telling all my clients. Like, listen, it's about to go to the next level because I'm bringing in some corporate expertise into this corporate logistics, corporate operations. Listen, it's about to go to a whole new level. And we've been talking about this is how this is going to work. And I mean, it's beyond exciting. And listen, I mean, it's just, again, though, we just got to be about this God work. That's it, man. That's it. There's nothing else to do other than what we're here to do and expand that compound it, go hard, bring in the right people, make as much of an impact as you can, and stay busy sprinting doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because why not, right? Why not? What else are you doing? You know, why not go big if you can? People need what you know. That's a real thing. So I'm excited. So yes, I'm gonna reach out to you guys, let you know what's going on, what date, what time. But we're gonna celebrate that and celebrate what's to come, because it's gonna be a blessing. I can tell you that. So, all right, folks, I'm out of here. See y'all later. Happy holidays. Enjoy friends and family. Go big, man. Like really, like dream big as you can. Don't be afraid of that either. Like and I'm gonna just say this: like when you really do it, your legit subconscious mind is gonna say, "What are you doing, girl? Stop! We don't do that kind of stuff." And you just stare at like straight up and be confident and say, "This is where we're going." Get used to it, because you're about to see this happening over and over and over and over and over again. And sometimes your subconscious just has to grow up and become more than what it has been. So have a good one. Happy holidays. And we'll see you in the new year.
This session is no longer being recorded.